think we're on.
Alright, big man.
Half hour hippies.
We ride again. We ride again. Hello, everybody.
So, what's been happening, Mr. Hipson?
Fuck it all, man.
Give the peoples what they want. They want you.
Fuck's sake, I
They
don't
do.
know about that.
And this car's fucking roasting again.
I know.
You've done it to me
I know,
again.
I know.
I get hot flushes.
That was fucking
It's
custy
fucking
the other
roasting.
night. See what I mean? Just constantly bringing hassle into my life. Turning my fucking
She does
heating up and all
not.
that.
She fucking doesn't. She does not bring
She
hassle
knows
to
it.
your life.
She knows I don't mean
She's
that.
your biggest fan and supporter, and that's
She does
just
that.
that's
She
just
does
really
that.
good.
I'll give her that.
Aye. So,
What have I been up to?
what
Nothing,
have you been
man.
up to? Tell the people what they want to know.
Nothing, man. Just
the people have to
working,
know.
working, running.
How's the running going? Right,
That's
tell
it.
us about
I'm
that.
not as fit as I used to be, big man.
You're
You know what I
fit, you're
mean?
fit
But
as fuck. I would.
I'm
If I was,
used to be
you know,
quite fit years ago,
if I
but
was that way
still
inclined-
plodding away.
If I was
you know
that
what
way
I mean?
inclined, I would say you were very fit. But
Thank you, sure.
you know,
I know
welcome
you
one,
mean that.
welcome all, as I say in every podcast.
The melting pot.
The melting pot
Isn't
is there, yes. But
Exactly.
I'm afraid you're just not my thing.
But nah, just plodding away, man. Innit? Work. I was away on holiday.
Very nice.
Away in Croatia, sure.
Better than a caravan in air.
It was very nice actually. Me, Kirsty, Maggie and Stevie,
Nice.
which was good. Done a lot of running, a lot of walking,
Aye.
a lot of eating.
Never get deported.
No,
That's
no,
good.
never get deported. But it was
That's
good, man. I would
good. That's
recommend
great.
it to
Aye.
anybody that wants
Yeah.
to go. It's a good place to go
Magic.
to, man.
Magic.
What about you?
Absolutely
Have you
nothing. Aye, absolutely
Nothing.
like working class stuff. So
Class hero.
no,
Putting that window down a bit.
been off. Been another tale of
Whoa.
drunkenness and cruelty.
Nah, tune.
No, not much to sort of
I
report.
think people
really.
can safely see that we don't write it and didn't.
No, it's
know what I
fuck
mean?
that.
We
You
just
know,
kind of go, right,
it's-
fuck it,
aye.
man. But
It's a bit of a historic day today, I suppose, if we're going to go topical, that like Liz Truss lasted the same amount of time as Brian Clough at Leeds.
exactly.
Brilliant, eh?
Exactly. But at least
Yeah.
Brian Clough's time at Leeds meant something. They're
Yeah.
fucking bun that.
Aye.
A lot of them, her and our compadres
Yeah.
down there. We've got a
Yes.
good song about the Tories actually, haven't we, big man?
That's the one.
If anybody wants to get a listen,
I
it's
even
called
shared it today.
Destination Alienation.
Wrote
Get
it
them
all
to
ourselves. Yeah.
I try not to be political, man, but you're just like, oh, man, too fuck. Ain't you?
It's getting to be like, see like the thick of it, you know that the TV
That's
show.
exactly
But
what
no,
it's
but
getting
it's like a fucking episode you would get
Right.
rejected for being too mental. I think that's the way I see it.
See,
just
see
now.
a couple of weeks ago when I think it was the first couple of days that she took office, and I seen a thing on Twitter, right, and she announced her health minister.
Yeah.
You see the fucking state here? Not a fucking bit here hanging the right way.
Is that the one that was
Blood ready for popping
the one
at
with
any
the-
given minute.
the one with the fucking pint and the cigar?
That's
Is that
her.
one? Is that her?
Big, heavy duty fucking munter that looks as if she's going to drop down dead at any given minute, and she's in charge.
We're going to get misogyny.
No, people get it, man.
We're
Do you know what I
going to
mean?
get
People
that
get
fucking
it.
level. That is, they're going to think we're a
Think so?
couple of cunts.
I'm not very good with hearing about woke people.
Woke.
The woke people.
woke
These
people.
woke cunts.
Woke.
That you
I love
can't
that.
help me. Your mister just got offended by it. And
Aye.
I used to work with, man.
Generational, I think.
Honestly, I would get at Kirsty and that. She used to come into the office, I'd have to go up and leave. So I couldn't open my mouth. And it's nothing, do you know what I mean? It's just the way that you talk. But everything offends every cunt.
Did you get reported? Like for,
I thought I did once because I made an inappropriate joke about Peter Tobin. Uncle
Did
Peter.
you make an appropriate joke about Peter Tobin?
I say somebody was working as hard as Tobin shovel. And she didn't take too kindly.
Oh God, that's aye.
But there's
Okay.
many things like that. But
Well,
I'm no good round about them.
No.
I'm no. Do you know what I mean? It's all this debate about sexes and fucking. They're talking about
Every
about
podcast.
pansexuals.
No, but every podcast. It's not to be fucking Bernard right on, but like people can just be, can't.
I don't give a fuck.
Aye.
So,
Like that, no, but you're agreeing
Exactly.
with me, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
exactly.
That's my take on it. And if there's love and peace and harmony and all that bollocks and bullshit, but it's true. There's enough fucking hatred and violence and all the crap that goes with life. Can we not just fucking get a big table
Let's
and
all
lots
get
of
along.
lots of cups
Exactly.
of tea and sit down and
I don't,
get
honestly,
down to
mate,
it,
I
you know?
don't give a fuck what
No.
colour you're. what race you're,
As long as you're not a St Mirren fan.
whether you
okay.
like to fucking sook a tadger or whether you like to drink for the old fucking furry cup, whatever it is that you want to do, with me you're treated on the cunt scale. See, if you're a cunt, you'll get treated like a cunt. Do you know what I mean? You get treated like a cunt.
Respect is earned.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's getting now, the far left is as fucking bad as the far right.
Shat on by Tories, shovelled up
We'll
by
end up
Labour.
getting about 1.5 complaints out of the 4 people that listen.
What's that? 4, that's up from last week.
Aye, we're getting up in the world.
I'll ask this every podcast, we may as well keep it to this fucking format because it seems to work. What's making you happy just now? Is there anything in this world? I've actually got one for this for me.
Have you?
Aye.
Oh, good.
Aye.
Good.
Aye.
Music, I think, at this moment in time, just certain, again, it's no new music out and like that. Just listening to just some of the bands and, do you know what I mean? I think I'm getting a lot of solace now.
What bands?
The Stones.
Stones? I had a Stones phase a
Stones.
while ago.
Been listening to the Stones a lot. I met my wee mate Robert a couple of weeks ago and we had a heavy chat about the Stones. He's like a mad Stones.
You got a favourite
The way
Stones?
we are about the Beatles.
Aye, a favourite Stones period, as it were. I know.
I like Exile and Main Street,
Right, aye,
but
aye.
I like also
That's-
Let It Bleed.
Let It Bleed's my favourite.
Was that
song.
before Exile and Main
Aye,
Street? It was a couple of years before
69,
69, wasn't it?
aye.
Was that when they were doing? No, that was the
when
year
it
they
was-
done Rock and Roll Circus, wasn't it?
Aye, it was also Brian Jones
When he died.
on his way out. Because
But
like
you see that album, see
Gimme Shelter was all Keith again. It was all, he basically did everything on it. Bass.
Monkey Man.
Monkey Man's brilliant.
What a
isn't it?
tune. What an intro.
Aye.
Another one Scorsese used brilliant in Goodfellas, remember?
You got the silver.
Brilliant.
That's great.
Brilliant, man. What an
Love
Let
in
It
Vain.
Bleed.
Love in Vain.
Class, man.
Love in-
And then
that's
I've been
one of the
listening
best
to the
tunes
deluxe kind of a version of Exile and Main Street.
Exile's brilliant.
With the,
I never liked it. I genuinely did not like that. I've heard it when I was a very young guy, and I'm not that anymore. But I didn't take to it.
No.
But I absolutely love it now. It's
that-
true. You should music, art books, revisit them.
some you grow into, don't you?
Revisit them at different times of your life, and they might become something for you. I mean,
Definitely.
Exile genuinely is. It's probably my second favourite Stones album after Let It Bleed.
Definitely. It took me a while to get into see Animals of Pink Floyd album.
Alright, aye.
Took me a while to
See, I
get
like
into that. That was
I
one
like
of the
that.
last ones
Yeah,
that I got into. But see, there's a deluxe version or something of Exile and Main Street, but it's got like acoustic versions of Love and Cup and Shine a Light, and there's a cracking version of them just, I think it's just that they're in the studio just doing a version of Tumbling Dice.
See that? Is that the one where they went
Montreux? Was it Montreux they were in?
but did they not do? Was it Exile that they did? They brought back old tapes and then
I think so.
redid them like now. So they used some of the old tapes and then put new guitar dubs or
New takes on
new
them,
takes.
aye.
Is that?
I think
is that
so.
That? Aye.
I think so. I got it on. It was on Spotify, but the full lot. It was on all the, bit like the Let It Be 50th anniversary thing. So I think it was the 50th anniversary because that was on about 72, wasn't it?
72.
So maybe it just came out
It's
this
when they
year.
fucked off to France and
brilliant,
tax site Exile.
And I don't.
Nail-
There's just something
nail coat.
about see Keith Richards' hair during that period. It's fucking class. Doesn't even wash it. Didn't wash his cell
Can
at
you say
that point.
Can you see that about his skin right enough?
His hair was just outstanding.
A fucking ghosty partner seance.
What a man. What a man. But aye, that's about it. What about you?
Greenock Morton.
On the Martin.
I've been going to the games and reacquainting myself
The old Socceroo.
with that team that I love, and it's been brilliant. Well, we're still the worst team that you're ever likely to see.
They're doing alright, aren't you?
Aye, but that's really fucking lifted my spirits going to see the
You
tournament.
can't watch your football.
First
can you?
game was horrendous. They were fucking terrible, and then the second game they won on penalties. It was a cup game, and then they won 5-0.
That's right.
Fucking every time they get the ball, they scored. It was like watching Brazil,
Oh,
you know, and we don't ever.
one of the days where
Aye.
everything
It's like, I
clicks.
can't believe I'm watching this. So,
Aye.
and I met one of my heroes.
Well done, Ritchie.
Aye.
Lodge.
And he was a dude. So
Could be a
that's-
song in that.
Yeah, maybe. Idol.
Right.
If you know, you know. So that's made me ecstatically happy.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And we'll maybe get to go to a game soon.
Definitely,
Yeah.
mate. Definitely.
Magic.
Take a bit of time off El Selleck Park.
Aye,
Come and
okay.
see us.
Go and take you to the Dalrada Dome.
Exactly.
Again, if you know, you know. So what's pissing you off? I know this is always the... This is the fucking...
Do you know what,
nice
right?
down
Something that's
Bristol House.
been coming a bit of an occurring kind of a thing all the time, right? Always with me, it's people, right? There's a guy that sits in front of me at the football, man, and he is doing my fucking box
Is he
right in,
likely
man.
to watch this?
I doubt it. Nah, well, fuck. Honestly, man, I feel like going like that, mate. Shut the fuck up.
Is he a knobbing?
Shut the fuck up. Oh, prick. It's a prick. About 20 stone, can't even walk up the stairs, and he's shouting about people's fitness levels and fucking...
I hate cunts
people
like
that's
that.
never kicked a
Aye.
ball in their life that don't
Aye.
understand that fucking
Aye.
football's no all but fucking scoring goals and fancy step
Aye, he
overs and
couldn't-
fucking this and that.
He couldn't run a metre.
A prick.
Aye.
And then the advice that I got with a guy I work with, Paul, was like, I scalp him with a pie.
I said that
If
as
I wasn't
well,
veggie,
aye, yeah.
I could maybe go down that avenue.
You don't want to waste a pie either.
You're just like that, man. And then I'm going to say your average football fan, but just a lot of football fans are fucking idiots, man.
Do you think, like with Celtic, they're and I'm using words and I hate that fucking inverted commas shit. Do you think they're a bit spoiled?
Fucking spoiled bastards, man.
Just because they've not really seen much failure.
See,
in
my
the last
experience, you're great.
Aye.
I've gone to been in Selleck Park a hell of a lot, right? What happens is,
Aye,
and
you've
probably
been,
the same
You've been
at
there with the dark days and the good
aye,
days. You're not just some
back in the
fucking
day, man,
fair weather
exactly,
fan,
aye.
you know.
So see what happens is you get guys who they're of this opinion. You get them at Morton, you get them at any place that you go to. They buy a season ticket and they think they can just say or do whatever
Aye,
that
aye,
they
fair
like, right?
enough, yeah.
They think that when teams come to Selleck Park, that a team's not allowed to win a tackle. They're not allowed to win a ball in the air. They're not allowed
Get a
to
free
score.
kick.
They're not allowed to play well. They're not allowed to get a cut. Like, you're like, it's football.
Aye.
Actually, honestly, I had him in front of me. He was shouting about Jota's fitness levels. I felt like going like, fucking taking a stroke coming up the stair, you cunt.
Do
you know what I mean?
It's an old guy. Or
He's about 40 odds. But it's just, you're just like, mate, shut up.
Not every football fan is a fucking bellend.
No,
but,
no,
you
not
know,
everyone.
But there's a kind of high majority at times.
Honestly, man, you're just like that. And then I start finding myself wanting to say something. He's got a big baldy napper that I want to slap and I just say, shut the fuck up and just sit down, man. Do you know what I mean? Or go and watch somebody else.
I'll take them to
Give me see Martin.
Aye,
And that's the thing, they get spoilt because there's been a lot of success.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Over the years, especially the last kind of a 10 year. Do you know what I mean? You're like that. You know yourself, so in football, sometimes you've got to. I was trying to explain that to Kirsty last week. I came back for the game and we were talking about sometimes you need to ground results out. You need to win dirty. You need to get last minute goals with no playing well and all that. That's football.
That's what wins you championships.
Exactly, man.
You know.
Do you know what I mean? Can't you be all swashbuckling?
No.
50 moves a goal and all that,
fuck
50
that.
passes a goal.
Do you know what? I don't actually want that in a game, in a season, because if you get that, there's nowhere. It's like the Stone Roses. There's nowhere to go.
It's a plateau on it.
There's nowhere to. You've started high.
Yeah.
So I don't like that. I'd rather
Exactly.
up and down's all right as long as it's a good scores. But
usually me in it, it's people. It's just people that annoy me all the time.
Yeah.
World would be great if it wasn't for the people.
that is true. That is very true. So well, yeah.
Not about you, it's pissing you off. Dare I ask?
What is pissing me off? Right, we're heading into winter. I don't like winter.
You've not got that fucking sad thing and all, have you?
It's not. No, I hate things that are put into a pigeonhole. I don't like. You know, like. I'm not having a go. I just mean that. No, I don't have that. But I absolutely despise this time of year. So, I hate the darkness. I hate the fucking rain. I hate everybody's miserable. You never see any fucking daylight.
No.
I don't think it's like sad or seasonal.
Going to work in the dark, coming
Fuck
home in the
off for
dark.
But it's just you're like, is it worth the aggravation to find yourself a job and there's nothing
enough
working
working for what line that is for you, man, innit?
I
What do
watched
you
the.
make of that about the songs? I'm no letting Liam use the songs.
Well,
I get it.
I get it.
I
as
get
well.
why he's doing it.
Yeah, I get it.
Don't you fuck me about,
Yeah.
mate.
they are his songs, and he owns them. It's not a joint or a fight. It was always his songs. It was not like a fucking band that had 5 writers in it.
I mean, I've got a lot of respect for Liam Gallagher, right? And I think that he sang the songs and all that. Singers are 10 a penny, Chuck. Singers are 10 a. See, and songwriters are 10 a penny. Special songwriters only come along every so often.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, he's a lot of his fucking end songs he sang himself towards the end.
Towards the end.
Do you know what I mean? But I get that's what you start threatening a man's family and all that, innit? You can tell he's a dirty wee bastard, can't you? You're not using them.
I kind of wish they would just get to fuck the two of them. Not to go away from life, but just fuck, either make up or fuck off. Do you know?
See, to be honest, I think that's the way Noel would like it.
Yeah.
I think he did.
I watched the Alan Brazil.
It was good, wasn't it? It was a good podcast, wasn't it?
Aye.
It was good. I listened to it on the way to see you.
It's quite a good mix with Ray Parlour as well.
Brilliant, man. It was good. Some good questions and that and all, innit?
3 mates just having a chin. Like
they never talked about like Main Road in the 70s and the early 80s and all that.
Aye.
It was good.
I'd have liked to have went to a game at Main Road just to see. It was meant to be a really fucking.
A couple of guys I know went into that gig, didn't they? When they played, didn't they?
Aye. But it was when did it get fucking littered?
It was no long after that.
Was it?
Actually, aye. I think it was maybe late 90s, maybe.
Imagine, I mean, alright, Capello Park, okay, nobody's going to want to fucking play there, but I mean, Celtic, imagine you playing Celtic Park.
I don't think I'd be able to get there. I'd be that fucking, honestly, I'd be like that, for fuck's sake. You know, see, we notice, a lot of people don't really notice. When's the last time you seen a gig at Celtic Park? I think the last person to play at Celtic Park was Prince.
Would it be the way the park? Would it be the way the stadium is now, or was it the old Celtic Park? You know, like with the jungle and all that.
It was kind of a half and half.
Still have a jungle.
I seen U2, Zoo TV.
That was the old park.
That was it. No, well, they put a bit of seating in the jungle at that time.
Right, okay.
But I don't know if there's an agreement, because obviously Harry Styles was at fucking Ibrox, wasn't he?
Do they not?
I don't know if they've got an agreement with Hampden.
Okay.
Because Hampden gets all the gigs, didn't he? I don't know if the SFL get the fit done.
They maybe need to get the money in, like they need to get the money in somehow for that.
Because there's not been one. Thinking about it, not been one.
I know it wasn't at it, but did Bon Jovi or Rod Stewart not play like Ibrox or something?
Rod Stewart, the Simple Minds played Ibrox. I know, did they not one time?
But that was like a venue, you know, like
Frank Sinatra.
That's right. But why would that have, you know? Anyway, they must have wrecked the pitch.
Well, maybe that's why Celtic don't allow it. I don't know, but I was always thinking must be an agreement with with Hampden.
Well, Hampden's shite. You know?
Here, did you know what I found out? Stevie was telling me, right? So see where his seat is in Park Kids. Matt has season tickets, like kind of he's in the old stand. So
the old main stand.
Aye. So he was saying, so see when Celtic play in the Champions League, so save Mott never get to the Champions League. So what happens is
I'm done. If that happens, I'm
so do you know that once you go into that tournament, see for 48 hours, the UEFA own your stadium.
Is that right?
Aye, they can come in and Stevie keeps getting moved. He'll get moved to another seat just to kind of a maybe corporate, or to kind of a give me tickets or for television or whatever it may be.
The old Parkhead with it, do they still have that, like, it was like a fucking box that hung down on the old...
Still there.
Is that still there?
No, that's like the kind
that was
of
the main
press box.
That was like the main stand, wasn't it? And then you had this box thing.
Well, press box still there.
So that was a press box, right? Cool. Always, I'm looking forward to going. Like,
On 5th of November, big man, Celtic and Dundee United.
As long as they don't sniff me out as a non-believer. You know? Well, I'm not. I'm just not. I'm just Morton. You know, that's all that is. You know? But, aye, mad for that. Yeah,
that'll be good.
That'll be ace. Aye, well, we're bashing along with this. So we're rehearsing tonight.
Gig tomorrow night.
This will be out after the gig.
So, playing McCool's at me tomorrow. I just sat outside Carlton and now got to rehearse.
But we are playing another gig. I'm queuing you up. We are
Room
playing
2, man.
There we go.
Room 2
got
again.
In the end. Do you want to tell the good folks where, when, and how?
Our good friend David Blair has asked us to come along and play it room 2 again. Us, is it Pelican, Rogue,
Yes.
and
Nasty Nesto.
Nasty Nesto
And the Sad Boys.
and the Sad Boys.
I'm sure they're very, very good.
Aye.
And that's sincere, that's not a piss take. I'm sure everybody's at a good...
We played last week, didn't we, in audio?
Aye. That was interesting.
It was interesting. One good thing came out it,
Well,
but we will keep that to ourselves, won't we?
Aye. There's maybe plans afoot.
There is plans
Shall we
afoot.
say there might be plans afoot.
So 11th of November, room 2. The ticket link is on all the pages, the Instagram, the Facebook and stuff like that. Come along, man. Support original music. If anybody's know a lot of kind of people, you meet people and that and they say, oh, I need to get along, see you live and all that.
Yeah.
They're very good. I will say that.
Okay.
I'm no one for tooting my own horn, but in this regard I will. So if anybody's not had the chance to come and see us, come along, buy a ticket. Support original music, man. Come along, you're with 3 original acts singing original songs, and it will no cost you £90 a ticket.
Perfect.
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
It'll cost you, what, 11 quid? Not much there.
11 whole bucks.
11 quid. We don't sell the tickets, it's on a, you need to go through a wee link that takes you to a Skiddle app, and what will happen is you can buy your tickets and that one. I've sold a few.
Buy 50 a time.
Exactly.
Win a major prize.
Exactly, so November the 11th, room 2.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Another gig to look forward to.
Yep.
So here we are, podcast 5, the famous 5 podcast. We've not deviated from the format really, so
I've not got one.
I've not got one. So I put out like the usual, can you ask us a few questions just to give us something to talk about, and like literally ones of people
as per usual
got in touch.
Did Kirsty send one?
No, she never, was she supposed to?
No,
okay. So would you like to go through? I think we don't have many, and then we need to draw.
We could actually keep this one to half an hour or run about it, can't we?
I think
half an hour's good.
I think the people would like that.
Aye.
Yeah.
Because we were getting a bit prima donna-ish, weren't we?
I don't know.
Half
it was funny.
Me fucking ranting.
Yeah, it was funny seeing you just losing your shit. That was good. So the questions get sent in, and then we answer them. That's basically it. So that's a really great format. So
that might catch on.
It might. You never know. So Waters, Peter Waters. Yeah, we know it's that way around. Commented, how did you get together in the first place?
Want me to tell, or do you want to tell?
I don't. You can.
So a pal of yours, Graham Hanlon of the Solid Bond fame, he had started a thing called the Music Men, and what it was, actually we need to get that thing back, man. It was a really good thing. So what it was a monthly workshop to raise awareness, remember, for men's mental health, and what would happen is we kind of go down once a month, be a lot of kind of music related stuff, have a jam, come down, listen to records. Obviously I've worked in addiction for years and worked in rehabs, and I used to take a wee group and a wee feelings check, see where people were at, get a bit of information on music.
You ain't feeling me up.
Exactly. And get a bit of information on mental health, remember? And then that was, so me and the big man kind of met, and then right away we started talking about the Beatles, didn't we? And that was us. We were kind of two realised we were mad, heavy duty Beatle fucking anoraks, and then we would got ourselves each other up the road, didn't we, on the subway, and then you says that you done a wee bit of running and that, and I was like, I run as well, and then we met the next day, didn't we, for a run, and then we were kind of talking about recovery and stuff like that, and just life in general, and then you'd kind of obviously you'd kind of retired from music, didn't you? You'd kind of wrapped it.
The public were quite grateful.
Well, I don't know about that. And then you says to me, didn't you, if you ever want to, you need a hand with it and the music stuff. So we went down, didn't we? Just kind of getting to know each other and that. We got a session in the HQ the first time we met Daft Ass, wasn't it? Gregor. We went down, recorded a song, we got on great, and here we are sitting 2 albums later, 5 podcasts, many singles, national radio airplay, critically acclaimed.
Played to tens of people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
very, very good at sitting and listening to people talking while we're singing. That's kind of, that's becoming a bit, although I end up telling them.
That would be what I fucking hate just now.
It's rude as fuck,
see,
man.
like playing, you're not looking for everybody to be sat there, you know, mouths open, like waiting on bated breath for a guitar note or a vocal, but that fucks me right off. That you're playing your fucking heart out and cunts are just giving you the fucking ding.
See, the thing is, see the effect it has on us, it makes us louder.
Does it?
Oh, it's like you're fucking getting it.
Well,
You're on it, you will listen.
what was left of my guitar.
Exactly. But aye, so here we are, a couple of years down the line, kind of things all good, best pals.
Yeah, aye.
Do you know what I mean? All sorts of shit.
Very
fucking,
much, very much. Yeah. I hope that
musical soulmates.
I hope that comes across, and it's not contrived.
That's
It's not
cool.
fucking any rap bollocks to
We've
try and
not got any
sell a
of that
record.
about us, big man.
That's,
So no kind of no into that shit. But aye, to answer your question, that was it. And the next thing we've been best mates kind of since. Kind of, I know just with music, but like personal stuff and all that. And we help each other out and stuff like that. Meet up and just kind of our pals, man, innit?
we have halloumi wraps and then we go home.
Honestly, man, big man makes the greatest fucking halloumi wrap. Honestly, there's this wee see that crisp in it.
Aye. That's
I could have ate another two of them last night.
Really?
Easy.
I'll make more next time. Aye.
You know what I mean? That fucking fat gutsy bastard.
It's the George Formby grill. That's like, you know.
Can't wait a bit of
You
halloumi.
can't even put it in the microwave or George Formby it.
Kirsty makes a good wrap, I must say,
Yeah, aye.
but it's not as good as yours.
Really? What does she make?
I've got wraps with all sorts in it, but they're
Aye,
not
but
as...
you're
Hers are kind of a bit ragtag, you know what I mean? Like, we're very boy on the deck. Just get everything in it, get it ate. Two gutsy bastards. But yours had a touch of class about it, the wee bit of green shit hanging out the end of it. No, I liked it, I noticed that, big man.
You know,
And then a Belgian bun.
A Belgian bun, aye. I had mine today.
Oh, did you?
I did, aye. If I was being really kind, I'd have sent you away with that, but I wasn't.
I didn't notice that when I left.
Aye, sorry mate.
I had the cheek to have a bowl of cornflakes.
Did you? Did I not feed you enough? Fuck's sake.
Just a dirty gutsy bastard,
That's
man.
right, okay, well I'm gonna challenge that the next time, then it's gonna be like fucking Monty Python, you know, one my first in mint, you know.
Yeah.
So oh well, that's good. Excellent. We'll go with that one has been answered.
That's
so
it,
thanks
answered.
very much, Peter.
Cheers, Peter. Thank you.
Peter,
You're a nice guy, ain't you?
we don't know you in that sense,
at all.
but we feel we know you because you're always really supportive and you always, you know, question or you get involved.
Very
and
much
I
so,
have
man.
to say
Makes
that's
it
what
worth
we,
it, guys, like
that's what we like, and we really
And
respect
we've got a lot of people at that end that we don't know, but they take a real interest in what we do. It's special, that, man.
It's cool. It's really cool.
Thank you.
So, thanks very much, sir. Okay, so next question is, and I'm going to get this name wrong because it's quite a name. Right, Bob Olova, Bob Olav or Nath. What do you
That's
I
you.
can't say that. Do you know him or her?
Bobo Lavorgna, the real.
It's not to like take the piss out of it. It's just quite a hard thing to say.
Aye,
you know?
aye.
But very
You
much.
know who you are.
Very much respect the question and thanks for getting in touch. We'd have flying cunt to that, but anyway, never mind. So, Bobolav or Nath, the real, that is what it is, I think. You can maybe tell us if it's not. Who was your biggest musical influence growing up?
Mine would probably be, and it's no kind of a really, no into kind of a making stuff up to get cool points and all that. Do you know what I mean? And still, he's one of the full band. I've actually got the chance, got a couple of tickets to go and see him in a couple of weeks doing
I think I
a
know who
question
this
and
is.
answer thing. He's got a book coming out. A lot of people don't like him. He divides opinion, but Bono.
Alright,
U2 as a collective.
Right, I thought we were going either Dylan or Roger Waters.
No, I've got tickets for Roger Waters and all. But I don't know. See if I was a kind of a teenager, early teenager. I remember once a lassie. Aye, go for it, mate. That one, aye. A lassie I kind of went to school with. We went to see Rattling Hum in the cinema. And it's the
yeah,
first time
yeah.
I'd ever seen anything musical in
Yeah.
the cinema.
Aye.
And
I
then
mind that coming out.
Oh, I remember it starting. This is a song Charles Manson stole
Yeah.
for the Beatles. Were stealing it back.
Yeah.
And they done Helter Skelter. And I was honestly, I was just blown away, man. I was just like, look at that, man.
B.B. King for me.
B.B. King, he's in Love Comes to Town.
Yeah, Joe do the chords.
I love
fucking
too.
Brilliant. I don't read too well.
But I don't know what it is. Probably as I've kind of as I grew up, my kind of different influences. Do you know what I mean? Like kind of a massive like Beatles, obviously. They're kind of very reign supreme, didn't they? The Beatles and the Stones and Roger Waters and Dylan, obviously. But I never really got into Dylan as much till I was a songwriter.
Yeah.
Strangely enough. I was always into him, but I never really became.
Again, that's the art thing. Is like go and revisit or go and look at art or music or books or anything at a different stage of your life, and
Exactly.
it might not be the same, but it'll affect you differently.
Because you'll notice, right? And you sometimes you explain that to people when you talk about the power of a good songwriter, and when you pick up an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And you try and write a song, you realise how good these guys
well, that's what
actually
people forget about, like Noel Gallagher, for example. It's just all fucking, you know.
Simple, isn't it?
Aye, like
Really?
you know, lefties sell open with like certain lyrics, you know.
Of course
like,
it is.
But you know, you try and do that. Like that's what I've always said about like I'm not his biggest fan, but like you try and sit down and write.
It's hard
write
as
a
fuck,
song
man.
like that, yeah.
See, to have that to hang words and melody and all that sort of a stuff, and having the ability to plant something in there, and it doesn't go.
Yeah.
That's how I know. See, if I've got a wee,
you've got your melodies are earworm.
see when I've got something, like if I'm fucking about with the guitar or I've got a certain phrase or something, I know because what will happen is it'll stay in my head for days, and then I know I need to get that done.
I'll tell the people a story about Aries Girl. So Aries Girl was the first tune that Paul and I did. Paul's song, and it was the first time I'd played with Paul in a musical sense.
It was that recording, wasn't it?
And he played it at the Music Men, the thing that he was talking about where we met. And could I get that fucking song out of my head?
It's catchy as fuck.
Could I? Aye. And I was like, that's great. I've got to get involved. You know, but I remembered it the next day.
Aye.
You know, I remembered some of the, and that's not. I'm more guitars, as you know. So I'm more like you know, not solos, but I'll hear a guitar refrain or melody before I hear a vocal.
Yeah.
But I was whistling the fucking tune.
It's catchy,
you know,
as fuck,
so.
wasn't it? But I was like that.
Got
See,
that.
with you, I remember the night you sent me the demo with Deep River, man. And I remember, because I always know when you send me a demo, there'll be like a kind of a lovely build up, and then the next thing it just goes up, and then it went to that bit, and I was like that right away. Oh, I need to get my fucking horns on this.
You did.
Do you know what I mean? That's still one of my favourite songs that we've done.
I never did any melody or lyrics at all for that.
I know, but I heard that the change.
I don't know, like, that's
the
what I mean.
chord change.
That's what I mean. Like it was pure music. You got sent.
Man.
It was. I went out to HQ and tried to get that, and that's where it came from.
Brilliant, man.
Aye.
But so that would probably be mine.
Nice one.
That would probably be mine.
What was a question?
About influences.
Influences. Who was your biggest musical influence? I'll say it again, and I've said this in podcast one. Mr. T. And not from the I did like the A-Team, I have to say. You get fucking, every time you think he would have been fucking wise to the glass of milk.
It's just the way that they tricked him.
Aye, he was a bit.
I ain't getting no plea.
He was a bit fucking stupid though, wasn't he? Like, you know, every time.
He was just all drawn. No brains.
Could be a fucking tank now, welding that.
Fight like fuck.
Aye.
He could turn the fuck.
Must have weighed about fucking 60 stone.
He could turn a bit of fucking scaffold and a cabbage into a fucking automatic fucking.
Why was there always a welding arc in every fucking barn that they went into?
Brilliant.
It's great.
Howling Mad Murdoch, remember?
They said that there's a podcast with Face and Murdoch. Like
oh, really?
Aye.
Oh, really?
Aye, I found it on YouTube, and they said that Hannibal's an out cunt.
Oh, is he? George Papard?
That's a proper out bastard.
Oh, is he?
He fucking treated them like shite.
He was a big star.
Aye, he was the kind of one that, him and I think you had Hannibal and then Mr. T, and then they two were at the kind of bottom of the chain, and he said they get treated like the fucking lackeys.
They two were great at it now, weren't they?
But they fucking hated him. He says, an old prick. He would do anything to either steal the scene or just treat them like fucking lackeys.
Because he was a massive star, wasn't he?
George.
It was a big film. He was in a couple of big, massive films.
See, I'm not the biggest movie, but he was in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
It was something like that. It was some kind of a cult classic he was in. Handsome old dude and all, wasn't
he? So that was a slight curveball in that one. So Mr. T would be Mr. Townsend. Pete Townsend. So the Who, everybody knows that, I think, by now. So my biggest influence would be them, and I kind of got them through my cousin David, who was 12 years, or is 12 years older than me, and I would go and listen to records at his flat, or his lived with my aunt and uncle, his mum and dad, and I would go down there and he would play me records like The Clash and The Jam and The Who and all that sort of stuff. So out of all those bands, Sex Pistols, Buzzcocks, all that stuff from that era, it went back to The Who for me. I just kind of like can't explain or you know, even the later, because I had the Who collection. Now I don't know if anybody ever I still had it on tape, and it was basically a kind of best of, and I got it from David, and it was like started with Can't Explain, the early stuff, but it also had like the Quadrophenia stuff and the like Who's Next, Won't Get Fooled, and Baba O'Reilly. So it's just this, but I couldn't work this band out because it was so different. A bit like the Beatles. I mean, the Beatles were the same. You start with Love Me Do, you know, and then
massive difference.
You see how they ended. So it's just I'm blown away with this, and that would be it. I love the Beatles. You know, they'll always be. It's hard to kind of put them, and I don't put them down compared to the Who, because people will be like, "Oh, fucking Beatles," you know, smash the Who at the park, but. I don't know, it's something about Townsend's writing and he's playing and the way that band fused together, and they weren't perfect by any shake of the tail, you know. Mooney and Entwistle were fucking all over the shop, but as a sum of all parts, which is every good band should be, it was brilliant. For a certain shelf life, they probably should have fucking chucked it, you know, a few albums before they did, but
some tunes, man, didn't they?
What a songwriter, what a writer, you know. What an intelligent guy, and I think maybe one of the most intellectual rock, straight rock musicians.
Do you find that? I think that must be a hard thing. I think that must be a hard thing to be a songwriter and no sing your songs. It must be.
I don't know.
I think it's because I sing. You know what I mean?
I could argue that, and I stress I'm not saying I'm a songwriter and a sole songwriter. I contribute, but there are times I'll bring a lyric, or I'll bring a melody, or I'll do something, and I'm actually like, I want to give it away because that's when it becomes something. It doesn't become something with me, you know, because it sounds.
I get like that with guitars with you.
But then that's the way. That's good. That's the way it works.
Because I'll say when I say that to you, I want it to kind of be like this. And, do you know what I mean?
But for me, if I'm going as a songwriter, if I'm saying I am a songwriter, I get much more at giving it away to you, because I know then it'll become something. You. And I don't know. I mean, like Townsend's a fucking. I don't know if I would like to go for a pint with him. You know, he's. I think he's hard work.
I think they're all supposed to be dicks, aren't they?
But
they're ruthless, aren't they? You don't get to that level.
You don't. It's the same with Clapton and people like that. You don't. I can separate. I think I can separate the person. Okay, there's certain things they can't come back from, but like I think, you know, the artist should be allowed to be separate from the person.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
You know? And would I like to maybe go for a pint with either of them, Clapton or Pint? Probably not. But what legacy? I mean, I suppose I've kind of put Clapton there as well. And they two are probably my biggest. You know, I like other stuff. You know, the Roses were a big influence growing up. You know, because that was kind of coming of age, Oasis, you know, and all that sort of stuff. So, but probably primarily as a guitar player, as a songwriter, as a fucking musician, or trying to be a musician, is that template that he created, talking about his like kind of life events from an adolescent into an adult. I don't think that'll ever be beaten.
Some of the imagery was brilliant.
And Quadrophenia, again, I don't want to go over the old first podcast, but folks should check that out and get away from the fucking green jacket, you know, bollocks, and just listening to the kind of the lyrical themes, the
Yeah.
musical themes, the way he structured that, the way he put it together, and see, it's
Masterpiece.
not for everybody, but go and listen to that and see if you can get on it, because that is a proper, that's as good as like a fucking Bach symphony. And I hope in fucking years to come by, like hundreds of years, that's lauded as much as what, say, like a fucking Mozart concerto.
Oh,
you know, I would hope that it is, because it deserves it. It does for me anyway. So
I
yeah,
agree with you.
so yeah, that would be a very long-winded answer to a very good question. So
Formative answer.
yeah, so there we go. So Townsend for you and Bono, is it?
I just probably I just used to the effect that they had on me when
Yeah.
I was a kind of a teenager.
So do you separate Bono from U2, or is it U2? Is it, you know?
It's just the band. I just love the band, man.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't understand people that don't like them. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't like you fuck as if you have to defend yourself because you like U2 to people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I wouldn't say
No, you should
they're
never
not my
have-
favourite
you should
band.
not- aye, unless
Do
it's
you know
like-
what I mean? But
Aye.
at
Unless
that
it's
teenage kind of that was
Yeah.
I was like, fuck,
You're
hell,
not saying
man,
S-
they were brilliant.
You're not saying S Club 7 or something.
No.
You're saying it's U2. You know what I mean? How many fucking records have they sold? You know? It was interesting last night hearing Gallagher saying how many Oasis are selling the same amount of records
I
now.
know
as
they
what
did. I know it's mental, innit?
Brilliant, isn't it?
Mental.
We've got one more question.
I need to go in rehearse.
I know. So we've got one from Neil Roberts Music. So thanks very much, Neil. And as you can see, it's getting dark, so we're going to have to wrap this up, because Glasgow's getting
Smiles
dark.
better.
Aye. You don't want to be out in the street at fucking
No.
the darkness. Right, so Neil, thanks again. And Neil's another one that supports and kind of shares.
Definitely,
and, gets
man.
in
The
touch.
monkey guy.
Yeah, so very, very much appreciated. So thanks, Neil. What 3 songs, and we'll just do this, we'll do it together, fuck it.
Okay.
Saves, we can't do 6 songs.
Alright.
What 3 songs would you recommend someone who hasn't listened to you before to listen to first?
Oh, fuck.
Well, like, we've got to agree and Be Lucky.
Be lucky, I think.
I fucking love that tune.
Devil in the Deep Blue Sea.
Do you
I
think
would
so?
want in there,
I wouldn't
I
have
like
put.
that.
Right, okay, 2.
Can
Last
we not
one.
give 5?
Right, day 5 then. Fuck it, day 6, doesn't matter.
Well, you do your 3 now.
Right,
do
right,
my
okay,
3.
right. Be Lucky.
So, right.
Right, no,
No, you go, you
right.
go.
Be Lucky. That was our rewrite of The Seeker with The Who, and we wrote it in one go, and we wrote it genuinely together. We structured things together. It was a real group effort, that one.
It was.
Aye, that was good. That was we actually
Good
wrote
that day,
it.
wasn't
We
it?
wrote it in where we're about
In
to
the
rehearse.
that's right,
so
sure we did.
that's a wee bit of useless trivia. Where we're about to rehearse now, that's where we wrote it. And it just worked. The session was brilliant, and it sounds great. And I don't give a fuck if it sounds like The Who. It sounds great. So
Okay,
be
right.
lucky. What else? I'm Waiting for Love. I love that tune. I love how that came about, and I wrote it in my flat, and I wrote some of it in my flat, and Paul took it on, and we made it a tune, and we structured it together, and Paul got the melody, and he got some of my melody ideas, and total group effort. I'm not just saying that because it's a podcast. That's the truth. But I love that song because of the sound we got on it, and the production, and it was a wee bit of a difference for us, I thought, with the strings, and I love it. It doesn't probably sound like it to anybody else, but it was like, for me, it was trying to do Yes by McCalmont and Butler with the strings.
That's right.
And how it sounded. I'm not saying it got there, but that was one of the inspirations for it. So I fucking love that tune, and I think, people will hear things different, but I would love people to get on that tune if they ever hear it. Last one, Volunteer.
Oh, aye,
I'm
man.
allowed to say Volunteer then.
That was-
It's kind of forgotten about because we've never played it live, but you know, that doesn't mean we're not going to ever play it live. And that took an awful long time to come to fruition, that tune. It was an old demo I had from literally like 20 years ago, and it got kind of mothballed, and then it got brought back up, and Paul jumped on it, and we made it a 7 minutes?
7 minutes.
That's my fault.
Billy Sloan played it, remember? The
Yeah,
full
he played
kind
the
of
whole
nearly
fucking thing,
7.5
BBC
minutes.
Radio.
Aye.
Aye, that was something special.
Brilliant, man.
So yeah, for that, So yeah, be lucky, waiting for love and volunteer. If I had to say, if I could sneak in a fourth, it would be Shaky Harvest, because it means a lot to me. And it's just a great song. Paul took music I had and restructured it, and he put the words to it, and it just became something else. And it's got a real kind of special kind of connotation for me, that song, for many reasons. And that would be nice. So I gave 4 there. I'm really sorry.
That's right. I would have Devil in the Deep Blue Sea. I think the lyrics are great. I think the way that it came about in the studio, that was magic. I remember because I remember you sent me the demo, and I was like, I get it for that, man. It was, and it's the first one I was going to go. You remember, I was like, this the fuck I can't. And then the next thing we were sitting, and then boom. I think Gregor recorded it, didn't he? As to he was writing it.
Did it
and then I love the vocal on it, and I love the sound of it, and I love the kind of a wee bit that you got put in it with Al Pacino and all that. That was pretty cool. I think I would have Deep River, man. I think that's just a fucking brilliant song, man. I love the kind of the way that we structured that as well.
Get a Floyd sort of sound.
Very, that's what I like about it. It's very, very Wall-esque in it. And
your lyrics are.
And I think it would either be, either Falling in Love with Being Alive or Shaky Harvest. And again, Shaky Harvest at the time when I wrote it, I was like, that's the best fucking bit of writing I've ever done,
yeah,
man.
It's great, man.
Do you know what I mean? I was like that line, if you could choose your life, what would you pick?
It's great, the lyrics are great.
Money for nothing, or no one gets sick was not a bad line.
It's great, it means so much that tune ended up being a tune for me.
Aye. And we still try and do that live, didn't we?
We don't play it every time.
We don't play it every time, but that would be mine, and I think I would maybe, nice to hear you smile. Again, I liked that as well. That was an old demo you had, I know, remember?
We've not played that live.
Not played that, never played that live, but maybe one day.
Maybe one day, you never know.
But that would be mine, mate.
Cool. That's not a bad.
Alright, yeah.
Not a bad innings there. So, aye. Well, that's.
We're going to rehearse now.
Aye. Well, we've got a wee bit more to do in terms of. We've got a wee bit more work to do, and this is where we announced. You know how we'd done the tickets thing?
Oh, right.
So we'd thought we might. We'd announced that we were going to give away 2 free tickets for our Room 2 gig, which is on
11th of November.
11th of November. You can get the tickets through our bio page on Instagram. There's a link there for Skiddle and all that. So, but we thought, well, it might be worth people getting a wee chance of a competition if they like, share and all that sort of stuff, and they enter their name as a result. So we've done that, and Paul's going to announce who we've picked. Ta-da!
We did get loads, didn't we? We got loads of people sharing and stuff like that.
So
and the winner is Music Lover.
Who's that?
Wee Rachel.
Oh, right, aye. She's always really kind.
Supports
so
us, man.
Thanks,
always
Rachel.
kind of share stuff,
Rachel,
support stuff. Rachel.
Thanks, Rachel. Thank you.
She always supports stuff, very kind of.
Yeah, really kind.
Very supportive of the band. So you've won yourself 2
Brilliant.
tickets. So if you get your details,
so
the
Rachel,
Instagram page will forward you the tickets.
Right, this is Rachel gets the tickets, 2 tickets, a t-shirt.
Oh, does she? She bought a t-shirt before, does she know? She's got 2 now.
She can sell it on eBay.
Want to wash your windies, right?
She gets stickers, plectrums, and a badge, and it's a special gift which has no ulterior, underhanded meaning. I put in special gift. So
did you?
We've got set lists. We've got
really?
We've got things like that.
You keep all that, don't you?
So we can we'll hand, if you want, you might not want it, but you can we'll hand in a set list.
Might be worth money, man.
Might be worth pence.
7 pence.
Buy it for 20 pence. Sell it for a quid. So there you go. Well done, Rachel.
Well done, Rachel.
We will announce that. We'll announce it when we put this out, and we'll tag you and all that. So, and you see her.
I might actually.
If you don't, we'll post the stuff. You can send in your address. We won't keep it, and we won't come and visit you. Don't worry about that kind of stuff. We're not like that. That was a good one, right? So we're going to go and rehearse. Fuck it.
Music calls, man.
Aye. Yeah, that's it really, isn't it? So another podcast ends. We did well with the time.
We did actually. Time I
supposed to be half an hour.
didn't it?
Aye. So.
Yeah.
We wrap it at that
Next
then.
one's number 6.
Number 6. Super 6. Yes.
Exactly.
So yeah, any last thoughts before you?
Don't be a cunt. And that's the kind of spiritual advice of the day is don't be a cunt.
Beggars can't be choosers, but they can
Don't be a
froth out the
cunt.
mouth and eat the furniture. Alright.
Exactly, big man.
On that bombshell, peace out, onwards. Bye.